Hello, welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be going over the second installment in our Halo series, Halo Reach. Set roughly 20 years after the end of Halo Wars, Halo Reach takes place in the weeks leading up to the start of Halo Combat Evolved. The story opens on the planet Reach, where, in the early hours of July 24th, 2552, a convoy of UNSC vehicles traverse the open plains before arriving at a small outpost where the newest member of the Spartan Squad, Noble Team, joins the veteran members as they are receiving a mission briefing from Colonel Urban Holland. Holland orders the squad to investigate the Visegrad communications outpost as contact was lost suddenly and the 1st Marine response teams have been declared as MIA. The Office of Naval Intelligence, or ONI, believe this could be the work of the local insurrection, as it fits with operations they've undertaken in other sectors recently. Holland signs off after requesting the communications relay is brought back online, leaving things in the capable hands of Noble 1, Carter, after the unnamed Noble 6 is given a brief introduction to Kat, Noble 2, Emil, Noble 4, and George, Noble 5, with only Noble 3, Jun, not present. The team is ready to head out. As Noble Team approaches the area, their communication with HQ is cut off, leaving them flying solo. After following the beacon, they find evidence of plasma weapons being fired in the area and are unable to locate the Marines sent ahead of them, although they do see a large amount of blood. Coming across some of the local residents, they are told screams were heard in the night and something killed residents in the fields. Following the trail, Noble Team uncover the cause of the disturbance when they encounter Covenant forces. After dealing with the initial wave, Noble Team split up to ensure Kat can get to the relay station and bring it back online. Noble 6, Carter and George head off to intercept more Covenant troops and look for the missing Marines in the area. After successfully locating the Marine squadron, Noble Team are able to push back the Covenant to secure an evac site and are swiftly transported to the relay outpost, which they find to already be under attack. Regrouping with Kat, Noble Team are forced to fall back into the outpost after fending off the enemy hold up inside. They're able to re-establish a connection with command and update Holland on the Covenant presence. Noble Team are sent to secure the Oni sword base. Landing hot, they're able to support the Marines on the ground and push the Covenant back, which gives them the opportunity to retake a nearby comm station and anti-air battery to bolster the UNSC position. As a Covenant corvette approaches, Noble 6 is asked to rejoin the rest of the team at sword base. Once inside, 6 heads up to the top floor to help Emil take down the Covenant ships attacking the base. After securing the base, Noble Team are summoned by Dr. Halsey for a debrief. After filling the Doctor in on the situation at Visegrad, she expresses her concern that the elites they encountered were a troublesome faction of zealots sent to track down religious artifacts of interest to the Covenant. With a rather cold-hearted goodbye, the Spartans part ways with the Doctor for now and move on to their next mission. Under cover of night, Noble Team scout out a Covenant position. While doing so, they come across a resistance cell using stolen UNSC supplies to defend their homes. After working with the resistance to destroy the nearby enemy forces, Noble Team locate the source of the communications blackout in the area and successfully place charges on the structure, before proceeding into the Dark Zone and discovering the Covenant have brought a force large enough to invade the whole planet. With this information, the UNSC launches a counterattack on every front, focusing on what appears to be the prepared landing site for any further Covenant dropships. Noble 6 and Kat's Warthog crashes and they're forced to proceed on foot through the chaotic battlefield before regrouping with UNSC Marines. With a new set of wheels, they advance on nearby anti-aircraft guns to clear the way for a bombing run. Noble 6 is swiftly picked up and transported to the next hot zone, shooting down as many targets as possible from the gun turret aboard the transport Pelican to support troopers on the ground. When they reach the primary target, which are Covenant spies transmitting some form of cloaking shield, the ship loses all power as soon as it enters the barrier and crashes. Only George and Noble 6 survive the crash. The two are able to breach the spies' defences and access the control room, deactivate the shield and make a hasty exit before a Mach bombardment makes short work of the structure. However, the UNSC frigate Grafton is destroyed by the now uncloaked Covenant supercarrier, the Long Night of Solace, which prompts the order for all forces to fall back. Noble Team are dispatched to secure a launch facility in order to put a plan to destroy the Long Night of Solace into motion. George and Noble 6 make use of a saber to head into orbit and dock at the Anchor 9 station. From the station, they set off to board the Ardent Prayer, a Covenant corvette which is heading towards the supercarrier for a refueling. This presents an opportunity to use the Ardent Prayer to deliver a makeshift slip space bomb to the Long Night of Solace. Once aboard the Corvette, Noble 6 takes out the crew in the control centre before they can raise the alarm and then clears the hangar for the slip-space bomb to be brought safely on board. After all of the commotion, George and 6 are unable to get back to the Sabres, and the detonator for the bomb is broken. George sacrifices himself to manually detonate the bomb, but not before sending Noble 6 back down to Reach in the only way available: free fall from the Corvette's hangar. As Noble 6 hurtles towards the planet, George's signal is lost as the bomb detonates. 6 is able to make it in mostly one piece, landing near the city of New Alexandria, only to find it's already under siege by the Covenant. With no time to mourn the loss of his squad mate, 6 heads into the city. Working quickly to link back up with UNSC forces, 6 joins the efforts to assist the evacuation of the planet, coming across a heavy brute presence on the streets of the city. 6 is able to secure a safe landing site, and the civilians are picked up and their transports are, for the most part, successfully escorted out of the war zone. Regrouping with the rest of Noble Team, 6 is tasked with clearing out the Covenant jammers, which have been set up in skyscrapers across the city, so they can re-establish communications with HQ. 6 takes to the skies and supports as many UNSC positions across the city as possible, while destroying each of the jammers. With the job done, 6 lands at the Oni building, and the squad are forced to evacuate the glassing of the city, but not before receiving orders from Holland to return to Sword Base. They need to destroy the data Halsey was working on, alongside the artifacts the Covenant are searching for. As the team runs across the courtyard to the Fallout bunker, the second member of Noble Team falls as Kat is fatally wounded by fire from a phantom flying overhead. Arriving back at Sword Base, this time looking to destroy the facility, Noble 6 takes out the anti-air towers to enable the rest of Noble Team to be dropped in. Regrouping inside the base, they're met with strong Covenant defences but are able to push through and arrive at the coordinates given by Oni. However, these directions are forcibly updated by an unknown AI, directing them to a secret underground facility. Proceeding as directed, the team discover Halsey is in fact still alive, and that their previous directions were an Oni pretext to have the Spartans brought to Halsey for a more important mission. Noble Team defend the lab while an encryption process is completed. After they've fended off waves of Covenant forces, Halsey emerges with humanity's hope for winning the war, and declares that they've been chosen to ensure the AI Cortana and the information that she has on the Forerunner artifact make it safely to the UNSC ship Pillar of Autumn for evacuation from the planet. Noble 3 evacuates Halsey, while the remaining members of Noble Team, Carter, Emil and 6, set off for the Pillar of Autumn, which is waiting for them in the shipyards. As the team are departing, they see the destruction of the underground facility behind them. En route, Carter is hit by Banshee fire, and knowing he won't make it, he orders 6 and Emil to continue the mission on foot while he draws as much enemy fire as possible. 6 and Emil traverse the mountains and caves, heading towards the Pillar of Autumn, dealing with the Covenant as they go. Things look bleak when they are met by a scarab as they exit the caves, when Carter suddenly reappears and crashes his Pelican into it, sacrificing himself to clear the way. Finally arriving at the shipyard, Emil operates a Mac cannon to defend the ship, while Captain Jacob Keyes arrives to take Cortana from Noble 6. Emil orders 6 to evacuate with Keyes, but is killed by elites, leaving the Autumn undefended. The last remaining member of Noble Team on the planet heads towards the Mac cannon and is able to provide the cover fire the Autumn needs to escape. The Autumn heads out and arrives at Installation 04, ready for the events of Halo Combat Evolved to continue their story. Back to Noble 6 as they make their last stand against the Covenant. While overwhelmed, 6 fights bravely, even as his helmet cracks, eventually to the point it needs to be discarded. From the perspective of the helmet laid on the ground, Noble 6's final moments play out. Eventually, overpowered and killed by a group of elites, in a mirror image of the opening scene of the game, 6's helmet lays shattered on the ground. The final scene of the game opens on a rejuvenated Reach more than 30 years later, as Halsey delivers a eulogy honouring the sacrifices of Noble Team, attributing the eventual triumph over the Covenant to the hope they kindled. And that brings us to the end of the story of Halo Reach. I hope you enjoyed this one. To this day, I'm impressed by how captivating the story of Noble Team is. It truly is a very emotional journey through this story. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and make sure you turn on those notifications so you don't miss the next story in this series, the game that started it all, Halo Combat Evolved. See you next time.